In the shadows of our world lie mysteries that defy reason, gruesome murders without suspects, disappearances that left behind no trace, and crimes so chilling that they seem almost inhuman. These are the unsolved horrors that haunt the darkest corners of our minds. Each story is a puzzle missing its final piece, a whisper of dread that lingers long after the last page is turned. Are you ready to step into the unknown? Chapter 1: The Vanishing Village of Roanoke. In the late 16th century, a group of English settlers attempted to establish the first permanent colony in North America on Roanoke Island, now part of modern-day North Carolina. Under the leadership of Governor John White, the Roanoke colony was meant to be a beacon of English presence in the New World, a strategic foothold from which further colonization could spring forth. However, what transpired there has since become one of the greatest mysteries in American history. The entire colony vanished without a trace, leaving behind only a cryptic clue carved into a tree: Croatoan. The Roanoke colony was established in 1587 with over 100 settlers, including men, women, and children, all hoping to build new lives in this uncharted territory. Despite initial struggles, such as hostile encounters with local Native American tribes and difficulties securing sufficient food supplies, the settlers persevered. However, by 1590, when Governor White returned from a resupply mission to England, he found the colony completely deserted. The houses were dismantled, not destroyed, indicating a deliberate departure rather than a chaotic flight. There were no signs of struggle or mass graves, and the only clue was the word Croatoan, carved into a post of the fort, and the letters Crow on a nearby tree. The mystery of Roanoke begins with the first-hand accounts of those who came upon the deserted settlement. Governor John White's return to Roanoke in 1590, detailed in his writings, provides a harrowing glimpse into the discovery. Expecting a joyous reunion with his family and fellow colonists, White instead faced an eerie silence as his ship approached the island. His heart sank when he saw no smoke from cooking fires or any signs of life. Upon landing, White and his crew found the settlement overgrown and eerily quiet. The buildings had been carefully taken apart, suggesting an organized evacuation. White's account describes how he and his men searched the area desperately for any signs of what had happened. They found no human remains or evidence of a struggle, which might have suggested a violent end at the hands of native tribes. Instead, the methodical dismantling of the settlement pointed to a planned relocation. The word Croatoan, carved clearly into the fort's post, was the only hint left behind. This term referred to a nearby island, home to the friendly Croatoan tribe, with whom the settlers had established relatively good relations. Despite this clue, weather conditions and a shortage of supplies prevented White from searching Croatoan Island thoroughly. His subsequent attempts to return were thwarted by further conflicts and delays back in England, leaving the fate of the Roanoke settlers shrouded in mystery. Later expeditions also failed to uncover definitive evidence of the colonists' fate, though occasional reports of European-looking individuals living among Native American tribes fueled speculation for centuries. Theories and speculations. Over the years, numerous theories have emerged attempting to explain the disappearance of the Roanoke colony. These theories range from plausible explanations grounded in historical context to more fantastical notions involving supernatural forces. Here, we explore some of the most prominent theories. Native American integration. One of the most widely accepted theories is that the Roanoke settlers sought refuge with local Native American tribes due to starvation, disease, or threats from other tribes. The friendly Croatoan tribe on the nearby island seemed a logical place for the settlers to relocate. Some historical accounts suggest sightings of European-looking individuals among Native American tribes, bolstering this theory. However, concrete evidence, such as European artifacts or definitive genetic links, has remained elusive. Spanish attack. Another theory posits that the Spanish, who had a significant presence in the Caribbean and were hostile to English encroachments in the New World, might have attacked and destroyed the colony. However, there are no historical records or evidence to support a Spanish assault on Roanoke. Starvation and disease. The harsh conditions, lack of adequate supplies, and potential outbreaks of disease could have forced the settlers to abandon Roanoke in search of more hospitable areas. Some historians suggest that the settlers might have attempted to move inland to find better resources, only to succumb to the wilderness or unfriendly tribes. Supernatural explanations. The enigmatic nature of the disappearance has also given rise to various supernatural theories. Some speculate that the settlers fell victim to a curse or were taken by otherworldly forces. Tales of ghostly apparitions and strange occurrences on Roanoke Island have been passed down through generations, adding a paranormal dimension to the mystery. Mass abduction or alien involvement. In more recent times, some fringe theories have even suggested that the settlers were abducted by extraterrestrials. While there is no scientific evidence to support this idea, it reflects the extent to which the mystery has captured the imagination of people over the centuries. The disappearance of the Roanoke colony has not only remained an unsolved historical mystery, but has also led to numerous reports of paranormal activity on and around Roanoke Island. These stories contribute to the eerie legacy of the lost colony, suggesting that the spirits of the settlers might still linger in the area. Ghost sightings. There have been numerous reports of ghostly apparitions on Roanoke Island. Visitors and locals alike have claimed to see figures dressed in 16th-century clothing wandering the woods and former settlement areas. These apparitions are often described as silent and forlorn, as if searching for something or someone. Some witnesses report seeing entire groups of ghostly settlers, including children, adding to the haunting atmosphere of the island. Unexplained phenomena. Along with ghost sightings, various unexplained phenomena have been reported on Roanoke Island. These include strange lights in the woods, sudden drops in temperature, and disembodied voices calling out in the night. Some visitors have experienced a sense of being watched or followed, only to find no one there when they turn around. Others have reported hearing the sound of distant drums or chants, reminiscent of Native American ceremonies, even when no such events were taking place nearby. Paranormal investigations. Over the years, paranormal investigators have conducted numerous investigations on Roanoke Island, seeking to uncover evidence of supernatural activity. These investigations often employ a range of techniques, including electronic voice phenomena, EVP recordings, thermal imaging, and spirit boxes. Some investigators have reported capturing voices and other anomalies that they believe are attempts by the spirits of the Roanoke settlers to communicate. These findings, while intriguing, remain inconclusive and are often met with skepticism by the broader scientific community. Cultural impact. The legend of the lost Roanoke colony has become deeply ingrained in American folklore, inspiring countless books, films, and television shows. These cultural portrayals often emphasize the supernatural aspects of the story, depicting the settlers as restless spirits trapped between worlds. The mystery of Roanoke has also been a source of fascination for tourists, with many visiting the island in hopes of experiencing the paranormal for themselves. Modern encounters. In recent years, modern technology and renewed interest in the paranormal have led to an increase in reported encounters on Roanoke Island. Social media and online forums are filled with personal accounts from visitors who claim to have experienced ghostly phenomena. These stories continue to fuel the legend of the lost colony, ensuring that the mystery of Roanoke remains alive in the public imagination. The tale of the vanished Roanoke colony stands as a testament to the enduring power of historical mysteries and their ability to captivate and haunt us through the ages. Whether the settlers integrated with Native American tribes, fell victim to disease or conflict, or encountered something otherworldly, their story remains an enigmatic chapter in American history. The ongoing reports of hauntings and paranormal activity serve as a poignant reminder that some mysteries are never truly laid to rest, continuing to echo through time and stirring the imaginations of those who dare to explore the unknown. Chapter 2: The Zodiac Killer. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, the San Francisco Bay Area was gripped by fear as a series of brutal murders were committed by an elusive and enigmatic figure who became known as the Zodiac Killer. The Zodiac's reign of terror began in December 1968 and officially lasted until October 1969, though he claimed to have killed as many as 37 people. Despite the extensive manhunt and the killer's bold taunts to the police and media, he was never caught, and his true identity remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in criminal history. The Zodiac Killer is infamous not only for his heinous crimes, but also for the cryptic messages he sent to newspapers. These messages often contained ciphers, which he claimed would reveal his identity if deciphered. The Zodiac's letters, filled with boasts and threats, added a layer of psychological terror to his physical crimes, as he seemed to relish the fear and confusion he was sowing in the public and law enforcement alike. His ability to evade capture and his mocking correspondence created an aura of invincibility, further mystifying his already chilling persona. The confirmed victims of the Zodiac Killer include 5 people: Betty Lou Jensen, David Faraday, Michael Mageau, Darlene Ferrin, and Paul Stine. However, the Zodiac claimed responsibility for more, and investigators have suspected him in several other unsolved cases. The Zodiac's victims varied in age and background, but his attacks were often carried out in isolated or secluded areas, making it difficult for witnesses to come forward or for immediate help to arrive. Crime scene analysis. The crime scenes left behind by the Zodiac Killer were as methodical as they were gruesome, revealing a meticulous planner who took great care to leave as little evidence as possible. Each site bore the hallmarks of his distinct modus operandi, characterized by brutal efficiency and a chilling detachment. Lake Herman Road, December 20, 1968. The Zodiac's first confirmed attack occurred on a quiet rural road near Vallejo, California. Teenagers Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday were parked in a secluded area, a popular spot for young couples. The attack was sudden and brutal. The killer shot David in the head as he sat in the car and chased Betty Lou as she attempted to flee, shooting her multiple times in the back. The precision of the shootings indicated a familiarity with firearms and a cold, calculated nature. Blue Rock Springs Park, July 4, 1969. The Zodiac struck again at a similar location in Vallejo. Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau were sitting in a parked car when they were approached by the killer. He shined a flashlight into their eyes before opening fire, shooting both multiple times. Miraculously, Michael survived despite severe injuries and provided a crucial eyewitness account of the attack. He described the assailant as a heavy-set man with a round face, who wore dark clothing and had a calm, methodical demeanor. Lake Berryessa, September 27, 1969. This attack marked a departure from the Zodiac's previous methods, as he chose a daylight attack on Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard. The couple was picnicking at Lake Berryessa when the Zodiac, disguised in a black hood with a white crossed circle symbol, approached them. He tied them up and then stabbed them repeatedly. Before leaving, he drew his symbol on their car door, along with the dates of his previous attacks. Brian survived the attack, providing another valuable witness account, but Cecilia succumbed to her injuries. Presidio Heights, October 11, 1969. The Zodiac's final confirmed murder was the shooting of Paul Stine, a cab driver, in the upscale neighborhood of Presidio Heights in San Francisco. Unlike his other attacks, this crime took place in a populated area, and several witnesses saw the killer leaving the scene. Despite this, the Zodiac managed to evade capture. He even sent a piece of Stine's bloody shirt to the San Francisco Chronicle as proof of his deed, further taunting the police with his audacity. The testimonies of survivors and witnesses who encountered the Zodiac Killer provide haunting insights into his methods and demeanor, painting a picture of a man who was both meticulous and terrifyingly detached. Michael Mageau. Surviving the attack at Blue Rock Springs Park, Michael Mageau's account was crucial in understanding the Zodiac's approach. He described how the assailant had initially walked away from their car after shining a flashlight into their eyes, only to return moments later with a gun. Mageau noted the calm and deliberate way the killer moved, the methodical way he shot them, and the chilling silence that accompanied the violence. Despite his injuries, Mageau's description of the attacker's physical appearance provided valuable clues for the police. Brian Hartnell. At Lake Berryessa, Brian Hartnell's ordeal revealed a more theatrical side of the Zodiac. Hartnell described how the killer, dressed in an executioner-style hood with clip-on sunglasses and a bib-like garment emblazoned with his symbol, approached them. The Zodiac's calm voice as he tied them up, his methodical stabbing, and his bizarre costume all pointed to a man who derived a perverse pleasure from instilling fear. Hartnell's detailed account of the attacker's actions and words added a chilling layer of psychological insight into the Zodiac's character. Presidio Heights witnesses. The murder of Paul Stine was witnessed by several people who saw the Zodiac calmly walking away from the scene. These witnesses described a man in his early 30s, with a heavy-set build, wearing glasses, and walking in a composed manner despite having just committed a murder. Their accounts helped create a composite sketch of the Zodiac, which was widely circulated but ultimately did not lead to his capture. Supernatural links. While the Zodiac Killer's reign of terror is primarily rooted in cold, hard criminality, the sheer brutality and mysterious nature of his crimes have also given rise to various supernatural speculations and paranormal claims. These theories, while not supported by concrete evidence, add a macabre layer to the already terrifying legend of the Zodiac Killer. Ghostly apparitions. Over the years, there have been reports of ghostly apparitions at the sites of the Zodiac's murders. Visitors to Lake Herman Road and Blue Rock Springs Park have claimed to see shadowy figures resembling the victims wandering the areas where they were killed. These apparitions are often described as silent and mournful, evoking the lingering presence of those who met tragic ends. While skeptics dismiss these sightings as products of overactive imaginations, the tales persist, adding a spectral element to the Zodiac's legacy. Haunted locations. Some believe that the locations connected to the Zodiac Killer's crimes are haunted by the spirits of his victims. These sites have reportedly become hotspots for paranormal activity, with visitors experiencing unexplained cold spots, eerie feelings of being watched, and disembodied voices. At Lake Berryessa, where Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard were attacked, some claim to hear faint screams and see ghostly figures near the water's edge. Similarly, in Presidio Heights, residents have reported strange occurrences near the site of Paul Stine's murder, including sightings of a shadowy figure matching the Zodiac's description. Psychic involvement. The Zodiac case has also attracted the attention of psychics and mediums who claim to have insights into the killer's identity or the fates of his victims. Some psychics have reported visions of the Zodiac's face or received messages from the spirits of the victims. These visions often depict the killer as a tormented soul, driven by dark forces beyond mere human malice. While law enforcement has largely disregarded these claims, they continue to fascinate those drawn to the paranormal aspects of the case. Cryptic messages. The Zodiac's ciphers and letters have also been subject to paranormal interpretations. Some believe that the cryptic symbols and messages contain hidden, supernatural meanings, or are part of an occult ritual. This theory suggests that the Zodiac was not just a murderer, but also a practitioner of dark arts, using his killings as a means to gain power or invoke otherworldly entities. While this idea is far-fetched, it has captivated the imaginations of many who see the Zodiac as more than just a human killer. The Zodiac Killer's case, steeped in brutality and mystery, naturally lends itself to supernatural speculation. While these paranormal elements are not grounded in factual evidence, they contribute to the chilling aura that surrounds the Zodiac's legend. The combination of unsolved murders, cryptic communications, and reported hauntings ensures that the Zodiac Killer will remain a figure of fear and fascination, his shadow lingering over the sites of his crimes and the collective psyche of those who seek to unravel his enigma. Chapter 3: The Hex House of York County. The story of the Remire family and their infamous Hex House in York County, Pennsylvania, is a tale steeped in folklore, fear, and fatal consequences. The Remire family's involvement in hex magic, a form of folk magic practiced by the Pennsylvania Dutch, culminated in the brutal murder of Nelson Remire in 1928, an event that cast a long, dark shadow over the family and their home. Nelson Remire was a well-known powwower, a practitioner of Pennsylvania Dutch folk magic. He lived in a modest farmhouse in a rural area of York County, where he performed various rituals and remedies to heal the sick, protect against evil, and allegedly cast hexes. His knowledge of powwow practices made him a respected yet feared figure in the community. People sought his help for various ailments and problems, believing in his ability to influence their fortunes. However, Rehmeyer's reputation also attracted darker attention. In the early 20th century, the community was rife with superstitions and fears of witchcraft. Accusations of hexing and cursing were not uncommon, and Nelson found himself at the center of such suspicions. His practice of powwow, which involved a blend of Christian prayers and traditional rituals, was often misunderstood and feared as witchcraft. The tension came to a head in 1928, when a young man named John Blymeyer, convinced that he had been hexed by Rehmeyer, sought to lift the curse. Blymeyer, along with accomplices John Curry and Wilbert Hess, believed that destroying Rehmeyer's hex book and obtaining a lock of his hair would break the spell. On November 27, 1928, the trio visited Rehmeyer's farmhouse with the intention of confronting him and performing the ritual. The confrontation turned violent, resulting in the murder of Nelson Rehmeyer. The attackers beat him severely and set his body on fire in a desperate attempt to destroy the hex book, which they believed contained powerful spells. The brutal nature of the crime shocked the community and drew national attention, casting the Rehmeyer family and their home into infamy. The farmhouse, now known as the Hex House, became a symbol of the dark side of folk magic and the dangers of superstition. The origins of the so-called curse that plagued the Rehmeyer family and their home are deeply rooted in the traditions and beliefs of the Pennsylvania Dutch community. The practice of powwow, or hex magic, was a blend of Christian and folk traditions brought to America by German immigrants in the 17th and 18th centuries. These practices were passed down through generations and were an integral part of the community's cultural and spiritual life. Powwow rituals were used for various purposes, from healing illnesses and protecting livestock to warding off evil spirits and counteracting curses. Practitioners like Nelson Rehmeyer were often viewed with a mix of respect and fear. Their ability to harness spiritual forces for both benevolent and malevolent purposes made them powerful figures within the community. However, the line between healing and harming was thin, and accusations of witchcraft were not uncommon. The Pennsylvania Dutch believed in the power of hexes, curses that could bring misfortune, illness, or death to those targeted. These beliefs were fueled by a rich tapestry of folklore, including tales of witches, spirits, and other supernatural beings. The fear of hexes was pervasive, and many took protective measures, such as wearing charms or performing counterspells to guard against them. In this context, Nelson Rehmeyer's murder can be seen as a tragic outcome of deep-seated superstitions and fears. John Blymeyer's belief that he was hexed by Rehmeyer was likely influenced by the prevailing cultural and social environment. The desperation to lift the supposed curse led to a horrific crime that highlighted the darker aspects of folk magic and the consequences of unchecked superstition. Personal accounts. The legacy of the Hex House and the Rehmeyer family's curse did not end with Nelson Rehmeyer's murder. Over the years, numerous personal accounts from family members, neighbors, and visitors have contributed to the enduring mystique of the Hex House. These narratives include stories of strange and inexplicable events that many believe are linked to the supernatural. Rehmeyer family accounts. Surviving members of the Rehmeyer family have recounted eerie occurrences that continued to plague the household long after Nelson's death. These stories include sightings of ghostly figures, unexplained noises, and objects moving on their own. Some family members reported feeling an oppressive presence in certain parts of the house, particularly in the room where Nelson was murdered. These experiences have led many to believe that Nelson's spirit, or some residual energy from the violent events, still lingers in the home. Local residents, neighbors, and locals have also shared their own unsettling experiences related to the Hex House. Some claim to have seen shadowy figures in the windows at night, or heard faint chanting carried on the wind. Others have described a sense of unease when passing by the property, as if being watched by unseen eyes. These accounts contribute to the house's reputation as a place of dark power and lingering malevolence. Visitors and paranormal enthusiasts. The Hex House has attracted numerous visitors, including paranormal enthusiasts and ghost hunters, drawn by its eerie history and reputation for supernatural activity. Many visitors report feeling an immediate sense of dread upon entering the house. Some have captured strange photographs or recordings, including unexplained shadows, orbs of light, and disembodied voices. These experiences have been widely shared, further cementing the Hex House's status as a paranormal hotspot. John Blymeyer's descendants. Interestingly, even the descendants of John Blymeyer have reported strange phenomena. Some family members believe that the curse that allegedly afflicted Blymeyer did not end with Nelson Raymeyer's death, but instead continued to haunt their own lives. These stories include instances of bad luck, sudden illnesses, and mysterious accidents, which they attribute to the lingering effects of the hex magic involved in the original crime. Paranormal Investigations. The Hex House has been the focus of numerous paranormal investigations over the years, with ghost hunters and experts seeking to uncover evidence of supernatural activity. These investigations have produced a wealth of intriguing findings, adding layers to the house's already notorious reputation. Early investigations. Shortly after Nelson Raymeyer's murder, rumors of hauntings began to circulate. Early investigators, including local historians and curious residents, reported strange occurrences such as cold spots, unexplained footsteps, and eerie voices. These early accounts laid the groundwork for more systematic paranormal studies in the years to come. Modern paranormal teams. In recent decades, professional paranormal investigation teams have conducted extensive studies at the Hex House. Using a range of equipment, including EMF detectors, thermal cameras, and audio recorders, these teams have documented numerous anomalies. One notable investigation captured an EVP, electronic voice phenomenon, of a voice whispering "Help me," which many believe could be the spirit of Nelson Raymeyer. Psychic mediums. Several psychic mediums have visited the Hex House, offering their insights into the supernatural presence there. Some mediums have claimed to communicate directly with Nelson Raymeyer's spirit, describing him as a restless soul seeking justice or closure. Others have sensed multiple spirits, possibly those of past victims of hex magic or other tragic events associated with the property. These psychic impressions often align with the reported phenomena, providing a narrative of ongoing spiritual unrest. Scientific skepticism. While paranormal enthusiasts and believers have gathered compelling accounts, the Hex House has also attracted the attention of skeptics and scientists. These investigators often attribute the reported phenomena to natural explanations, such as drafts, structural issues, or the power of suggestion. However, even skeptics acknowledge that the house's history and the intensity of personal experiences make it a unique case worthy of further study. Public interest. The combination of historical intrigue and paranormal activity has made the Hex House a popular subject for documentaries, television shows, and books. These portrayals often blend fact and folklore, creating a compelling narrative that continues to captivate audiences. Public interest in the Hex House ensures that investigations and stories will continue to emerge, keeping the legend alive for future generations. The Hex House of York County remains a powerful symbol of the intersection between history, folklore, and the supernatural. The generational curse that plagued the Raymeyer family, culminating in Nelson Raymeyer's brutal murder, serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of superstition and the dark side of folk magic. The personal accounts of strange and inexplicable events, coupled with ongoing paranormal investigations, ensure that the Hex House's legacy endures. Whether one views it as a site of genuine hauntings or a product of collective imagination, the Hex House continues to fascinate and terrify, a testament to the enduring power of a well-told ghost story. Chapter 4: The Disappearance of Mora Murray. On February 9, 2004, Mora Murray, a 21-year-old nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, vanished without a trace after a seemingly minor car accident in Haverhill, New Hampshire. Mora's disappearance has since become one of the most perplexing and widely publicized missing person cases in the United States, spawning numerous theories, extensive media coverage, and an enduring mystery that continues to baffle investigators and the public alike. Mora was described as a bright, driven young woman with a promising future. She had a background in athletics, having been a star runner in high school, and was known for her academic achievements. However, in the months leading up to her disappearance, Mora experienced a series of personal setbacks and stressors that seemed to weigh heavily on her. On the day of her disappearance, Mora emailed her professors, informing them of a family emergency and stating that she would be absent from class for a week. She then packed her car with personal belongings, including textbooks, clothing, and toiletries, and withdrew $280 from an ATM. Mora left campus around 4:30 p.m. and drove north. At approximately 7:30 p.m., her car skidded off the road on Route 112 near Woodsville, New Hampshire, and struck a snowbank. A passing motorist, a school bus driver named Butch Atwood, stopped to offer assistance. Mora declined, stating that she had already called for roadside help. However, cell phone records later revealed that no such call was made. Atwood continued on his way, and when police arrived at the scene roughly 10 minutes later, Mora was gone. Her car was locked and her belongings were still inside, but there was no sign of her. Last known movements. To understand the mystery of Mora Murray's disappearance, it's crucial to examine her last known movements in detail, piecing together the timeline of events leading up to her vanishing. February 5 to 8, 2004. In the days before her disappearance, Mora's behavior raised concerns. On February 5, she had a phone conversation with her sister Kathleen that left her visibly upset. 2 days later, on February 7, Mora was involved in a car accident near her campus, causing significant damage to her father's car. Fred Murray, Mora's father, visited her in Amherst over the weekend to help her look for a replacement vehicle and reportedly gave her $4,000 in cash for this purpose. February 9, 2004 morning, Mora was seen attending classes and conducting routine activities on campus. She used a computer to search for directions to Burlington, Vermont, and inquired about renting a condominium in the same area. 1 o'clock to 2 p.m., Mora sent an email to her boyfriend Bill Rausch, informing him that she did not want to talk to anyone. She also emailed her professors and work supervisor, stating that she would be out of town for a week due to a family emergency. 3 o'clock to 4:30 p.m., Mora packed her belongings into her black Saturn sedan and withdrew $280 from an ATM. She then purchased approximately $40 worth of alcohol, including a box of wine and a few bottles of liquor. 7 o'clock to 7:30 p.m., Mora's car crashed into a snowbank on Route 112 in Haverhill, New Hampshire. Butch Atwood, the passing motorist, stopped to offer assistance, but Mora declined, saying she had already called for help. Atwood observed no visible injuries on Mora and noted that she appeared cold but otherwise composed. 7:35 to 7:45 p.m., police arrived at the crash scene within minutes of Atwood's departure. They found Mora's car locked with her belongings inside, including the alcohol she had purchased, a AAA card, her favorite stuffed animal, and a book about mountain climbing in the White Mountains. However, there was no sign of Mora herself. Investigative dead ends. The search for Mora Murray has been extensive and exhaustive, involving multiple law enforcement agencies, private investigators, and volunteers. Despite these efforts, the case remains unsolved, with numerous investigative dead ends and unanswered questions. Initial search efforts. Immediately after Mora's disappearance, police conducted a search of the surrounding area, including nearby homes, woods, and waterways. Tracking dogs were brought in and reportedly followed Mora's scent to a point about 100 yards east of the crash site, where it abruptly ended. This suggested that Mora might have entered a vehicle at that location, but no further evidence was found. Fred Murray's involvement. Fred Murray has been a vocal and persistent advocate for his daughter, often criticizing law enforcement's handling of the case. He believes that Mora met with foul play and has repeatedly called for more aggressive investigation tactics, including searches of nearby properties and bodies of water. Fred's involvement has kept the case in the public eye, but it has also led to tensions with investigators. Bill Rausch's perspective. Mora's boyfriend Bill Rausch was stationed at Fort Sill, Oklahoma at the time of her disappearance. He has expressed frustration with the lack of progress in the investigation and has participated in several searches. Bill's phone records indicate that he tried to contact Mora multiple times on the evening of February 9th, but his calls went unanswered. Unconfirmed sightings. Over the years, there have been numerous reported sightings of Mora in various locations across the United States. These sightings, however, have never been substantiated, and many have been dismissed as cases of mistaken identity. Despite these false leads, the possibility that Mora might have intentionally disappeared remains a point of contention among those following the case. Psychic involvement. In a bid to uncover new leads, Mora's family has consulted with several psychics and mediums over the years. These individuals have provided various theories, ranging from abduction to voluntary disappearance, but none have led to concrete evidence. The involvement of psychics has added an element of intrigue to the case, but has also drawn skepticism. Theories and speculations. Theories about what happened to Mora Murray abound, ranging from the plausible to the bizarre. Some believe she succumbed to the harsh winter elements and her body was never found, while others speculate she was abducted by a passing motorist. Another theory suggests that Mora staged her disappearance to start a new life, potentially fleeing from personal issues or seeking a fresh start. Despite extensive investigation, no theory has been definitively proven or disproven. Haunting legacy. The disappearance of Mora Murray has left a haunting legacy, not only in the sense of an unsolved mystery, but also through the supernatural experiences reported by those who have come into contact with her case. These accounts, while not scientifically verified, add a layer of eerie intrigue to an already perplexing case. Psychic impressions. Several psychics and mediums have offered their insights into Mora's disappearance. Some claim to have communicated with Mora's spirit, suggesting that she met a tragic end and is reaching out from beyond to provide clues. Others describe visions of Mora in remote wooded areas, urging searchers to look in specific locations. While these impressions have not led to concrete evidence, they continue to provide hope and direction for some of those involved in the search. Paranormal Investigations. The area around Mora's crash site has attracted the attention of paranormal investigators, who have conducted various studies to detect supernatural activity. Some investigators have reported capturing unexplained phenomena, such as EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, featuring voices that some believe could be Mora's. Others have experienced sudden drops in temperature, feelings of being watched, and sightings of shadowy figures in the woods. Personal experiences. Family members, friends, and volunteers involved in the search for Mora have reported their own inexplicable encounters. Some describe sensing Mora's presence during search efforts, experiencing vivid dreams in which she appears, or feeling guided to specific locations without understanding why. These personal experiences, while deeply subjective, contribute to the belief that Mora's spirit remains connected to those seeking answers. Cultural impact. Mora Murray's disappearance has become a significant cultural touchstone, inspiring documentaries, podcasts, books, and online communities dedicated to solving the mystery. These platforms often explore both the factual and supernatural aspects of the case, blending traditional investigation with paranormal speculation. The enduring fascination with Mora's story ensures that it continues to captivate new audiences, keeping the search for answers alive. Legacy of hope and despair. For Mora's family and those who knew her, the legacy of her disappearance is a complex mix of hope and despair. The hope that one day answers will emerge and Mora's fate will be known, and the despair of enduring years without closure or understanding. The supernatural experiences reported by some offer a form of comfort, suggesting that Mora's spirit is still present and that, in some way, she is still reaching out to those who care about her. The case of Mora Murray is a profound reminder of the enduring mysteries that can arise in even the most seemingly straightforward situations. Her disappearance, marked by a sudden, inexplicable vanishing and subsequent investigative dead ends, continues to challenge our understanding of truth and reality. The haunting legacy of her case, enriched by reports of supernatural encounters, ensures that Mora Murray's story will remain a compelling and enigmatic chapter in the annals of true crime and the paranormal. Chapter 5: The HinterKic Murders. The HinterKic murders, one of Germany's most chilling and unsolved crimes, occurred on a remote farmstead situated between the Bavarian towns of Ingolstadt and Schrabenhausen. On the night of March 31, 1922, 6 members of the Gruber family were brutally murdered in their home. The victims were Andreas Gruber, 63, his wife Casilia, 72, their widowed daughter Victoria Gabriel, 35, Victoria's children, Casilia, 7, and Joseph, 2, and the family maid Maria Baumgartner, 44. The murders were discovered 4 days later on April 4, 1922, when concerned neighbors noticed that no one had seen or heard from the Grubers, and the family's farm activities had ceased. Upon entering the farmhouse, investigators were met with a horrific scene. The bodies of Andreas, Casilia, Victoria, and the younger Casilia were found in the barn, having been lured there one by one and bludgeoned to death with a mattock. Inside the house, the body of the maid, Maria Baumgartner, was discovered in her bedroom, and the youngest victim, Joseph, was found murdered in his crib in Victoria's room. The brutality of the killings was evident from the severe head injuries sustained by each victim, some of which indicated prolonged suffering. The crime scene offered few clues. There was no clear motive, no valuables were missing, and there were no signs of a violent struggle or forced entry. It appeared that the killer had stayed in the house for several days following the murders, tending to the livestock, eating meals, and maintaining the household. This unsettling detail suggested a level of familiarity with the farm and its routines. Historical background. The HinterKic farm had a dark history even before the gruesome murders. The Gruber family had experienced a series of strange and unexplained events in the months leading up to the killings. Andreas Gruber had reported hearing footsteps in the attic and finding strange footprints in the snow leading to the house, but none leading away. Despite thorough searches, no intruder was ever found. These incidents created an atmosphere of fear and unease among the family members. Adding to the sinister aura of the farm were the Grubers themselves, who were not well liked by their neighbors. Andreas was known to be a harsh and abusive man, both to his family and to others. There were rumors of incestuous relationships within the family, particularly between Andreas and his daughter, Victoria. These rumors, combined with the family's isolation and the peculiar happenings at the farm, contributed to a sense of foreboding that seemed to culminate in the tragic events of March 31, 1922. The strange occurrences at HinterKic were well documented. In addition to the mysterious footprints, Andreas found an unfamiliar newspaper in the house and noticed that keys had gone missing. Despite reporting these incidents to the local police, no formal investigation was conducted, and the events were largely dismissed as paranoia or imagination. This negligence would later be criticized in the wake of the murders, as many believed that these early warning signs were indicative of the danger that ultimately befell the Gruber family. Unexplained Phenomena. Following the murders, HinterKic farm became a focal point for stories of paranormal activity. The brutal nature of the crime and the eerie history of the farm seemed to invite supernatural speculation. Several accounts of ghostly sightings and unexplained phenomena have been reported over the years, adding to the legend of the haunted farmstead. Ghostly sightings. Numerous individuals, including locals and visitors, have reported seeing apparitions near the site of the former farmhouse. These sightings often describe shadowy figures that resemble the murdered family members. Some have seen a woman and child believed to be Victoria and her daughter Casilia wandering the fields. Others have reported glimpses of an old man, thought to be Andreas Gruber, appearing in the barn or around the property. Unexplained noises. Strange noises have frequently been heard in the vicinity of the farm. These include disembodied footsteps, whispers, and the sounds of doors creaking and slamming. At night, some have claimed to hear cries and screams reminiscent of the tragic night of the murders. These auditory phenomena contribute to the farm's reputation as a site of restless spirits. Cold spots and eerie feelings. Visitors to the HinterKic site often describe sudden drops in temperature, particularly in areas where the bodies were found. These cold spots are accompanied by an overwhelming sense of dread and unease, leading many to believe that the spirits of the Gruber family remain tethered to the location. Some individuals have reported feeling an invisible presence watching them, or experiencing a tangible sense of sadness and despair. Poltergeist activity. Instances of poltergeist-like activity have also been reported. Objects have been known to move on their own, including tools in the barn and household items. Lights are said to flicker inexplicably, and electrical devices malfunction without apparent cause. These occurrences have led to speculation that the violent deaths of the family have resulted in lingering, turbulent energy. Ongoing investigations. The HinterKic murders have remained an unsolved mystery for over a century, captivating the interest of crime enthusiasts, historians, and paranormal investigators alike. Despite numerous theories and extensive investigations, the case has never been conclusively solved, and the supernatural aspects of the story continue to intrigue those who visit the site or study the case. Early investigations. The initial investigation was hampered by several factors, including the isolated location of the farm, the delay in discovering the bodies, and the lack of forensic technology available at the time. Local police conducted interviews and examined the crime scene, but no definitive leads were found. The list of suspects included neighbors, disgruntled former employees, and even distant relatives, but no one was ever charged. Modern forensic analysis. In recent years, advances in forensic science have prompted renewed interest in the case. Efforts have been made to re-examine the evidence using modern techniques, such as DNA analysis and digital reconstruction of the crime scene. While these methods have provided new insights, they have yet to produce a breakthrough in identifying the perpetrator. The passage of time and the contamination of evidence remain significant obstacles. Paranormal investigations. The HinterKic site has become a popular destination for paranormal investigators. These teams use a variety of tools, including EMF detectors, EVP recorders, and thermal cameras, to document supernatural activity. Many investigators have reported capturing unexplained phenomena, such as voices, orbs, and anomalous readings. Some claim to have communicated with the spirits of the Gruber family, receiving messages that suggest they are seeking justice or closure. Documentaries and media. The HinterKic murders have been the subject of numerous documentaries, books, and podcasts, which have kept the case in the public eye and inspired new generations of investigators. These media portrayals often blend historical facts with speculative theories, including supernatural elements. The widespread interest in the case has led to a proliferation of theories and interpretations, each adding to the complex narrative of the HinterKic murders. Private investigations. In addition to official and media-driven inquiries, private individuals and amateur sleuths have dedicated their time to solving the HinterKic mystery. These enthusiasts often collaborate through online forums and social media, sharing information and theories. Some have traveled to the site to conduct their own investigations, while others meticulously analyze historical documents and records. Despite their efforts, the case remains an enigma, with no definitive solution in sight. Supernatural explanations. The supernatural aspects of the HinterKic murders continue to capture the imagination of many. Some believe that the farm is cursed, haunted by the restless spirits of the Gruber family. Others suggest that the murders were influenced by dark, otherworldly forces, pointing to the unexplained phenomena and eerie history of the farm as evidence. These theories, while lacking concrete proof, add a layer of intrigue and mystery to the already perplexing case. The HinterKic murders stand as a testament to the enduring power of mystery and the human fascination with the unknown. The combination of brutal crime, unsolved mystery, and reported paranormal activity creates a compelling narrative that continues to captivate and haunt those who delve into its depths. Whether viewed through the lens of historical investigation or supernatural speculation, the story of HinterKic remains a chilling reminder of the dark and unexplained corners of human history. Chapter 6: The Unsolved Black Dalia Case. The murder of Elizabeth Short, more famously known as the Black Dahlia, is one of the most infamous and gruesome unsolved cases in American history. On the morning of January 15, 1947, the mutilated body of 22-year-old Elizabeth Short was discovered in a vacant lot in Leimert Park, Los Angeles. Her body had been severed at the waist, drained of blood, and posed in a manner that suggested the killer's twisted intention to display his work. The sheer brutality and macabre nature of the crime shocked the nation and drew intense media scrutiny. The killer had meticulously cleaned and posed Short's body, indicating a level of planning and a desire for notoriety. Despite an extensive investigation, which involved hundreds of suspects and thousands of hours of police work, the identity of the killer remains a mystery. The Black Dahlia case has since become a part of Los Angeles' dark folklore, a symbol of the city's underbelly and the human capacity for evil. Victim profile. Elizabeth Short was born on July 29, 1924, in Hyde Park, Massachusetts. She was the third of 5 daughters born to Cleo and Phoebe Short. Her early life was marked by instability and hardship. When Elizabeth was 6 years old, her father abandoned the family, leaving Phoebe to raise the children alone during the Great Depression. This difficult period shaped Elizabeth's formative years, instilling in her a desire to escape and seek a better life. In her late teens, Elizabeth moved to California to live with her father, who had resurfaced after a decade of absence. However, their relationship was strained, and she eventually moved out, drifting between various jobs and living situations. Elizabeth harbored dreams of becoming a Hollywood actress, a common aspiration during the golden age of cinema. Her striking beauty and enigmatic charm earned her the nickname Black Dahlia, a moniker reportedly inspired by a film noir released at the time, The Blue Dahlia. Despite her aspirations, Elizabeth struggled to find steady work in Los Angeles. She lived a transient lifestyle, often relying on the kindness of friends and acquaintances. Her social circle included both aspiring actors and those on the fringes of society, a mix that some believe may have contributed to her tragic fate. On January 9, 1947, Elizabeth was last seen alive at the Biltmore Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. She had arranged to meet her sister, but for reasons unknown, she left the hotel and vanished. 6 days later, her body was found in Leimert Park, forever etching her name into the annals of American crime history. Investigation flaws. The investigation into Elizabeth Short's murder was marred by numerous flaws, missteps, and potential cover-ups. The case quickly became a media sensation, with reporters and photographers swarming the crime scene and police headquarters. This intense media scrutiny put immense pressure on the Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, to solve the case swiftly, which may have contributed to some of the investigation's shortcomings. Crime scene contamination. The crime scene where Elizabeth's body was discovered was not properly secured, leading to contamination of potential evidence. Reporters and curious onlookers trampled through the area, possibly destroying valuable clues. The police were unable to control the scene effectively, which hindered their ability to collect and preserve forensic evidence. Suspect pool. The LAPD interviewed over 150 suspects during the investigation, a number that eventually grew to more than 500. This wide net included a range of individuals, from known criminals to Elizabeth's acquaintances. However, the vast number of suspects diluted the focus of the investigation, and many leads were pursued without yielding substantial results. The police were criticized for not narrowing down the suspect pool more efficiently. Media interference. The sensational nature of the case attracted widespread media coverage, which at times interfered with the investigation. Newspapers published speculative articles and unverified information, which not only misled the public but also potentially influenced the direction of the police work. The pressure from the media to find a quick resolution may have led investigators to prematurely dismiss viable leads. Internal corruption. There have been persistent rumors and allegations of corruption within the LAPD that may have impacted the investigation. Some theories suggest that high-ranking officials were involved in covering up aspects of the case, possibly to protect influential individuals. These claims, while difficult to prove, have added a layer of complexity to the case and fueled speculation about a deeper conspiracy. Lack of forensic technology. In 1947, forensic science was not as advanced as it is today. The absence of DNA testing and modern forensic techniques meant that the investigators had to rely heavily on circumstantial evidence and eyewitness testimonies, both of which can be unreliable. The limitations of the forensic methods available at the time undoubtedly hampered the investigation. Despite these challenges, several promising leads emerged during the investigation. However, each potential breakthrough ultimately led to a dead end. The combination of a compromised crime scene, an overwhelming number of suspects, media interference, and possible internal corruption left the case unsolved. Over the years, various individuals have claimed to know the identity of the killer, and numerous theories have been proposed, but none have been conclusively proven. Paranormal Angle. The gruesome nature of Elizabeth Short's murder and the enduring mystery surrounding the case have given rise to numerous paranormal claims and supernatural occurrences associated with the Black Dahlia. These stories add an eerie dimension to the already dark narrative and continue to intrigue both true crime enthusiasts and paranormal investigators. Ghost sightings. One of the most frequently reported paranormal phenomena related to the Black Dahlia case is the sighting of Elizabeth Short's ghost. Visitors to the Biltmore Hotel, where Elizabeth was last seen alive, have reported seeing a woman resembling Elizabeth wandering the hallways. She is often described as wearing a black dress, looking distressed or lost. Some witnesses claim that she vanishes suddenly when approached or spoken to. Spiritual impressions. Paranormal investigators who have visited the vacant lot in Leimert Park where Elizabeth's body was found have reported feeling intense emotions and spiritual impressions. These investigators often describe sensations of overwhelming sadness, fear, and pain, as if reliving the final moments of Elizabeth's life. Some have also reported hearing disembodied voices, including cries for help or faint whispers, believed to be Elizabeth's spirit attempting to communicate. Psychic investigations. Several psychics and mediums have attempted to connect with Elizabeth Short's spirit over the years. These individuals claim to have received messages from Elizabeth, detailing her final moments and identifying her killer. While these psychic readings have not provided verifiable evidence, they contribute to the supernatural lore surrounding the case. Some psychics assert that Elizabeth's spirit remains restless, seeking justice and closure. Haunted locations. In addition to the Biltmore Hotel and the Leimert Park site, other locations in Los Angeles are believed to be haunted by the Black Dahlia. The Soden House, a distinctive Mayan revival-style home designed by architect Lloyd Wright, is one such location. George Hodel, one of the prime suspects in the case, lived in the Soden House at the time of the murder. Visitors to the house have reported experiencing cold spots, unexplained noises, and sightings of a woman in period clothing, adding to the speculation that Elizabeth's spirit may be connected to the property. Cultural impact. The Black Dahlia case has permeated popular culture, inspiring books, films, and television shows that explore both the factual and supernatural aspects of the story. These cultural representations often blend historical events with fictionalized accounts of ghostly encounters and paranormal investigations. The enduring fascination with the case ensures that the Black Dahlia's story remains a subject of public intrigue and supernatural speculation. Modern paranormal investigations. The advent of modern technology has allowed for more sophisticated paranormal investigations of the Black Dahlia case. Ghost hunting teams equipped with advanced equipment, such as EMF detectors, EVP recorders, and thermal cameras, have conducted numerous investigations at sites associated with Elizabeth Short. These teams have documented various anomalies, including unexplained electromagnetic readings, mysterious audio recordings, and temperature fluctuations, which they attribute to paranormal activity. While the supernatural elements of the Black Dahlia case may never be scientifically proven, they add a compelling layer to the enduring mystery. The ghost sightings. spiritual impressions, psychic investigations, and haunted locations all contribute to the legend of the Black Dahlia, keeping Elizabeth Short's memory alive in the realm of the paranormal. The unsolved murder of Elizabeth Short, the Black Dahlia, continues to captivate and haunt those who delve into its depths. The combination of a brutal crime, flawed investigation, and supernatural speculation creates a multifaceted narrative that remains unresolved. As new theories and paranormal claims emerge, the quest for answers persists, ensuring that the Black Dahlia case will remain an enigmatic and haunting chapter in the annals of true crime and the paranormal. Chapter 7: The Disappearance of Eton Pats. On the morning of May 25, 1979, 6-year-old Eton Pats vanished while walking to his school bus stop in Manhattan, New York City. This seemingly ordinary journey would become one of the most famous missing child cases in American history, igniting a nationwide search and sparking significant changes in how such cases were handled. Eton's disappearance marked the first time a child's photograph was featured on milk cartons, a practice that would become widespread in the years that followed. Eton's route to the bus stop was just 2 blocks from his family's apartment in Soho, a neighborhood that at the time was transitioning from industrial use to a more residential and artistic community. His parents, Julie and Stan Pats, had recently begun allowing him to walk to the bus stop alone, believing the short distance to be safe. However, Eton never made it to the bus stop that day. The alarm was raised when Eton didn't return home from school. His parents quickly learned that he hadn't been in class that day, prompting a frantic search. The New York City Police Department launched a massive investigation, scouring the area and questioning neighbors and potential witnesses. Despite their efforts, no trace of Eton was found. The case quickly captured national attention, highlighting the vulnerability of children and leading to increased awareness about child abductions. Eton's face became one of the most recognized images in America, symbolizing the heart-wrenching plight of missing children and the desperate need for vigilance and reform. Family's ordeal. The disappearance of Eton Pats profoundly impacted his family, plunging them into a world of anguish, uncertainty, and relentless search efforts. Stan and Julie Pats became prominent advocates for missing children, dedicating their lives to finding their son and helping other families in similar situations. Emotional turmoil. The immediate aftermath of Eton's disappearance was marked by intense emotional turmoil. The Pats family struggled with the devastating reality of their missing son, grappling with feelings of guilt, helplessness, and grief. The emotional toll was immense, affecting their daily lives and relationships. Despite their pain, Stan and Julie remained determined to find Eton, refusing to give up hope. Public advocacy. In the years following Eton's disappearance, the Pats family became vocal advocates for missing children. Stan Pats, a professional photographer, used his skills to keep Eton's image in the public eye, producing posters and distributing them widely. The family's efforts contributed to significant changes in how missing child cases were handled, including the establishment of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children and the implementation of the Milk Carton Campaign. Strange events. Throughout the years, the Pats family reported experiencing several strange and unsettling events. These included anonymous phone calls, letters, and purported sightings of Eton. Some of these encounters offered hope, while others deepened the family's despair. Each new lead or potential sighting reignited their hopes, only to be dashed when the information proved unhelpful or false. Haunting phenomena. As time passed, the Pats family also reported experiencing phenomena that they believed might be linked to Eton's disappearance. These included unusual noises in their home, objects moving inexplicably, and vivid dreams about Eton. Some family members felt a persistent presence, as if Eton were still with them in some form. These experiences, while unsettling, provided a sense of connection to their lost son, reinforcing their resolve to find answers. Psychic involvement. In their desperate search for Eton, the Pats family turned to psychics and mediums, hoping that these unconventional methods might yield new clues. While the involvement of psychics in criminal investigations is often controversial, the Pats family felt that exploring every possible avenue was essential in their quest to find Eton. Psychic readings. Over the years, several psychics claim to have received information about Eton's whereabouts. These readings varied widely, with some suggesting that Eton was still alive and being held captive, while others believed he had passed away and provided details about his final moments. Although these readings did not lead to concrete evidence, they offered the family some solace and potential new directions for their search. Mediums' messages. Some mediums claim to have communicated directly with Eton's spirit. These messages often conveyed themes of peace and reassurance, suggesting that Eton was in a better place and watching over his family. While skeptics dismissed these claims, the Patz family found comfort in the possibility that Eton's spirit was still present and seeking to guide them. Public and law enforcement reaction. The involvement of psychics and mediums in the Patz case drew mixed reactions from the public and law enforcement. While some supported the family's efforts to explore every option, others were skeptical and concerned that these unconventional methods might distract from more tangible investigative efforts. Despite this, the Patz family remained open to any potential leads, hoping that one might eventually provide the breakthrough they so desperately needed. High-profile psychic involvement. Some well-known psychics took an interest in the case, drawing further media attention. These psychics offered their services pro bono, motivated by a desire to help bring closure to the case. Their involvement kept the case in the public eye and maintained pressure on law enforcement to continue their efforts. Ongoing mystery. Despite decades of investigation and the involvement of numerous law enforcement agencies, the mystery of Eton Patz's disappearance remains unresolved. The case has seen many developments, but definitive answers have proven elusive, and the quest for truth continues through both traditional investigative methods and paranormal exploration. Initial investigation. The initial investigation into Eton's disappearance was extensive, involving canvassing the neighborhood, interviewing witnesses, and searching nearby buildings and areas. Despite these efforts, no substantial evidence was found, and the case quickly went cold. The police received numerous tips and leads, but none led to a breakthrough. Key suspects. Over the years, several key suspects emerged in the investigation. One of the earliest suspects was Jose Antonio Ramos, a convicted child molester who had been known to the Patz family. Although he was never charged in connection with Eton's disappearance, Ramos made statements that implicated him, and he was later found liable for Eton's wrongful death in a civil suit brought by the Patz family. However, no physical evidence tied Ramos to the crime. Confession and conviction. In 2012, a new suspect emerged, Pedro Hernandez, a former store clerk in the neighborhood where Eton disappeared. Hernandez confessed to luring Eton into a basement and killing him, a confession that led to his arrest and subsequent trial. Despite his confession, the case against Hernandez was complicated by a lack of physical evidence and questions about his mental stability. In 2017, Hernandez was convicted of Eton's murder and sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. While this conviction provided some measure of closure, many questions about the case remain unanswered. Paranormal investigations. In recent years, paranormal investigators have taken an interest in the Patz case, conducting their own inquiries and seeking to uncover supernatural clues. These investigations have included seances, spirit box sessions, and other methods aimed at communicating with Eton's spirit. Some investigators claim to have received messages from Eton, providing details about his abduction and urging searchers to continue their efforts. Media and public interest. The disappearance of Eton Patz continues to captivate public interest, inspiring documentaries, books, and television programs that explore the case from various angles. These media portrayals often blend factual investigation with speculative elements, including paranormal theories. The enduring fascination with Eton's story ensures that it remains a prominent and poignant chapter in the history of missing children. Legacy and reforms. Eton's case has had a lasting impact on how missing child cases are handled in the United States. His disappearance led to the establishment of National Missing Children's Day, observed annually on May 25, and spurred the creation of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. These initiatives have improved the response to missing child cases and provided critical resources for families in similar situations. The Pats family's continued search. Despite the conviction of Pedro Hernandez, the Pats family continues to seek definitive answers about what happened to Etan. They remain active in advocating for missing children and supporting efforts to prevent similar tragedies. Their resilience and dedication serve as a testament to their enduring love for their son and their commitment to finding the truth. Ongoing paranormal exploration. The paranormal aspects of Etan's case continue to intrigue investigators and enthusiasts. Paranormal teams regularly revisit the sites associated with Etan's disappearance, hoping to capture new evidence or receive further messages from his spirit. These efforts, while unorthodox, reflect the persistent hope that some clue or revelation might finally solve the mystery. The disappearance of Etan Pats is a haunting and heartbreaking story that has left an indelible mark on American society. The combination of a mysterious abduction, the profound impact on his family, the involvement of psychics, and the ongoing search for answers creates a multifaceted narrative that continues to resonate. Whether through traditional investigation or paranormal exploration, the quest to uncover the truth about Etan's fate endures, ensuring that his memory and legacy live on.